Hello everyone, myself Kruti Vyas, and today I'm going to present my topic on transcendentalism as the philosophical bridge between eco-criticism and sustainable development through immersions and thorough. This is my presentation details and academic details, and this is my presentation outline. My research question is: to what extent does American transcendentalism, as articulated in the works of Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau, serve as a philosophical bridge between eco-criticism and sustainable development, and how do its core tenets of organic unity, anti-materialism, and spiritual ecology provides the foundational framework that both fields presuppose? So my hypothesis is that transcendentalism through the nature philosophy of Emerson's and the lived ecological practice of Thoreau function as a unifying philosophical a bridge between eco-criticism and sustainable development. So it's a moral, ecological, and literary foundation not only anticipate eco-critical methodology but also prefigure the ethical imperative of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, particularly in the areas of environmental education, climate responsibility, and biodiversity and anti consumerism. First, what is a transcendentalism? So, transcendentalism is a 19th century's movement, specifically emphasizing on the spiritual unity of human and nature. And here, critic Chitrakar is views that it is a complete ethical complement of eco-criticism because our main figures are here. Their first one is Emerson's, who believe connect all life through the oversoul, and the other side is Thoreau, who immersive living and key tenets including here intuitions, self-reliance, reliance, and the anti-materialism. Then eco-criticism origin and the scope. So eco-criticism, according to Misra, define it studies of literature's interaction with the environment. And here other critic Marcel is urge us to see nature as a protagonist, not nature as a protagonist rather than just a romantic engagement. We also must define sustainable development as a meeting present needs to the without compromising future generation, as per the 1987 report. This is an infographic. It shows foundation of eco-criticism that include the study of literature and environment with the by representing the natural world. And next one is a nature as a spirit, Emerson's philosophy. So here Emerson's is introduce the oversoul, unifying all life, which focuses on self-reliance is actually ecological and self-sufficiency. Next slide is a Thoreau's Walden and ecological vision. So Thoreau is deliberately living at a Walden pond and makes him our proto-eco-critic. As a Sharma argues that he valued nature intrinsically, not just as a resource. But Vipin Sharma adds that Thoreau is famously critic technological progress when it was diverse from ecological wisdom. Continue with the civil disobedience and the environment. So here Thoreau's ideas extend into activism, and it highlights is a more specifically moral duty to protect nature. And his details is according to his nature records are even used today as early climate data. And by merging deep observation with the resistance, Thoreau built a foundation literary theory like early environmentalism and modern science. Transcendentalism, eco-criticism, the philosophical bridge. So how? So here is the first half of our bridge, that transcendentalism is directly informed eco-criticism because both value the spiritual unity of nature. So by this intuition and the anti-materialism, transcendental philosophy helps to us to expose human-centered biases in the literature and laying to groundwork for the modern and ecological and ethical engagement as well. how the connection to sustainable development. So now I built the second half of the bridge about sustainable development because it connecting these 19th century's idols to the UN's sustainable development goals. So here we have four major goals. First, quality of education. So, second one is a life on hand land, and third one is a climate action, and fourth one is a responsible consumption. And next one is a Thoreau's legacy for climate change. So here has critic has is argues that Thoreau is gave us two things. First he gives empirical data over 150 years of climate tracking based on his Walden Pond. Walden is a Walden Journal in Walden Journal, and the second thing is a rhetorical modern in which he showed us that how to communicate ecological urgency to the public. And Thoreau is proved that literary practice and scientific observation are not just mutually exclusive, but it also, which is a very foundation of eco-criticism. So here my hypothesis proved, though my hypothesis is here successfully proved because transcendentalism is served as a exact philosophy of bridge we hypothesize. And Emerson and Thoreau believes in nature, spiritually significance, birth the field of eco-criticism. And their practice of simplicity, ecological responsibility map perfectly on modern UN SDG, means Sustainable Development Goals. So the bridge is here confirmed. And to conclude, American transcendentalism successfully bridged the gap between eco-criticism's literary analysis and sustainable development's policy goals, and to a significant and a foundational extent, transcendentalism provides the moral, literary, and ecological roots without which neither eco-criticism nor sustainability ethics could have emerged in their correct form. So here is a key takeaways. If you remember nothing else, keep these key takeaways in your mind. First is nature is spiritual and not just a stuff. Emerson is a big picture because he known for his oversoul and original global citizenship. The third one is a Thoreau is a action man. He is lived in philosophy and provided data as well. And the bridge is between literature, science, and policy are not separate. They all rely on philosophical heart of transcendentalism of the function effectively. So here is my learning outcome. So through my presentation, I have learned the why and behind the how of sustainability, because we 150 years old text we here match this with the 21st century's problems, and we thinking by blending literature, philosophy, and science. And most importantly, we understand first organic unity with the idea that the text we write and the trees we plant, they both are part of exact same living system. And this is a detailed infographic which overall describing my presentation. Here are the references. Thank you. Please, questions are welcome.
So, Kruti, my question is if transcendentalism is so powerful, why is the climate crisis still getting worse?
Okay. So, with the respect, the philosophy never failed, humanity did. Because Thoreau warned us 170 years ago to live simply and respect nature, but we choose factories over the forest. So here, transcendentalism is still stand, but we just stopping to listen to it. Anyone else?
So, my question to you is, can a philosophy developed by privileged Western thinkers truly apply to today's global environmental justice struggles?
Yeah. So first of all, transcendentalism is not about privilege; is about majorly principles. Because the idea that nature has inherent value and all life is interconnected belongs to no single culture. In fact, India's own Vedantic philosophy echoes the same sound and same truth. But here, Thoreau is simply gave it in literary voice, literary style. Okay, so that is all from my side. Thank you.